right, everybody. Hey, Schmack, oh my God, we're live, man.
All
We're
right.
live and got Tony. I got Wayne. Tony, give the honors. Who's our guest this week?
Well, we have Mr. Adam Neal with us tonight from the band Savage Master, and he's going to tell us all about their new album, which is like it's your fifth full length, correct?
Fifth full length, fifth.
Yeah,
Really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to be
Great
here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great to have you, man. Yeah, Dark and Dangerous.
Yeah, D&D.
Yeah. What did you do different on this album that you did on previous albums? Because this is actually the first album I listened to completely of you guys. By the way, I've heard some songs here and there, and it didn't quite get me. But now with this album, actually, you got me. So now I'm gonna go buy your whole entire discography because that's just what I do.
That sounds great. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So what did you do differently on this album than you did on the previous?
On that, the simple answer: spend a lot more time on it. I mean, spend an exponentially longer time writing and like pre-recording, doing demos leading up to the album. That was probably a year process right there that we've never done before. So I think that really made a big difference. But also having this guy Arthur Risk produce it and mix and master. This guy did so much with what we gave him that's probably the biggest difference, the production.
Yeah, it does sound really good, by the way.
It is.
Thank you.
The first album's always been my favorite, because you just that's when you discover a band. A lot of times you really like the debut, and I love the debut, and I like all of them. But man, this new one, man, is to me, it's just it might be the best thing you've ever done, man. Like I told you, I sent you a message, man. It's the most melodic.
Yeah, it's very melodic.
And Stacy's vocals have improved so much over the years. She sounds great on this.
I agree, man.
The last track, the ballad.
Yeah,
Cold-Hearted Death.
I was gonna say that's one of my favorite songs. Yeah,
Cold-Hearted Death. Yeah, God, yeah, she sounds amazing on that, man.
Yeah, she knocked it out, man. A lot of hard work on her part, man.
It brings back
it
brings back remember in the 80s the tradition, like a metal band would end the album with like a ballad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I think the art of the ballad's kind of been lost a little bit,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every old heavy metal band used to have like at least the one slower song like that it didn't have to be about love or anything, but it had a ballad potentials,
Right, like a softer song. And that kind of like died out after the 80s.
The 80s,
I think so.
With a ballad. But yeah, this album, I want to talk about some highlights because Tony sent me it 3 days.
Oh, excellent.
And I've listened to it 9 times.
Oh, okay.
In 3 days, I listened to it 9 times.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once at night. And I just finished listening to it for the 6th time now. And this time I grabbed a pen. And I'm not, it's not that I'm saying these songs are better than other songs on the album, because seriously, 9 times, I think every song's awesome. There's not a bad song on here.
No, there actually is not, no.
But there's some that really stood out. And the Edge of Evil, that one really, really stood out. And it's got a lot of hooks, it's some good melodic, but heavy at the same time,
We are shooting real hard for that like fine line with the 80s Ozzy stuff, that early Ozzy kind of shifty kind of vibe riff that's kind of distinctly this one time period of music. When you hear it, you think, oh, it's that kind of song, no matter what happens next. And the same with the chorus, was kind of trying to go for that super 80s power chorus that also think people don't really do that much of anymore. There, a lot of songs have choruses, but not these over the top sing along, you remember forever kind of choruses. And hopefully that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very catchy. And awesome opening track, the Warrior Call.
No, you like that one. That's great.
Really kicks off. I mean, you got your little intro in the beginning, but that song, when you put that song on, you know what you're in for. And it just gets it gets better during the album. I'll talk about some, like my favorite I haven't talked about yet, but every song has some kind of, they're different. Some are fast, some are slower, but they all have that hook that I didn't hear in previous. So that might have something to do with you having more time to work on the album.
Yeah, I think they're just more realized. Like the other albums we've done them a lot more of a almost punk fashion. Um, this time we had a little more time to ruminate about each song and where they go and what happens with them. Not to say that the other songs lacked this element. I think it's always been there. We've kind of always been on the edge of some pop metal kind of concepts anyway. But this one we just had the proper time and production to actually pull it off and make it sound like it's supposed to sound.
Yeah, and it also sounds a little more refined.
Definitely, that's the change in lineup. We have a different guitar player from the last album, two different guitar players, and they really work great as a team. Whereas before it was always kind of a bit of a battle between the two guitars. These guys work perfectly in harmony, and I think that really comes across in the rhythm of the songs, and the leads are more advanced than they've ever been.
Yeah. I've noticed some blistering solos on the song.
Man.
So there's two guitars.
They great. Two guitar players, yeah. River Jordan and Nicholas Burks. Both those guys just knock it out. And they do great live too. Yeah, really good players, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke.
I think I first met Nick when he was in War Cloud, and we were all out in Texas about 5 years ago or whatever,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great band, fun band.
Yeah.
He's a real road dog, man. He's gone out with all kinds of people. He did a run with Coven. I mean, that's crazy. I saw
that.
You know?
That is.
Other people too, but yeah, he's a great guitar player, and he really made a big difference.
River's in another band at the same time, isn't he?
A band called Volcandra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like black metal kind of band. Also a great band.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very good players.
And you guys got a tour coming up pretty soon to Europe. Are you going out with Sanhedrin now?
Yeah, going out with our pal Sanhedrin, man. That should be a lot of fun. We did a U.S. tour with them and Traveler maybe 2 years ago. That was a lot of fun. Everybody really, you meet a lot of people doing this, and you make a lot of acquaintances. But every once in a while, you make real friends in the other people you meet out here. You know what I'm saying? Like you have good buddies out there, but then you have real friends that you meet out there. And both our bands really hit it off big time. So the idea of going over there and doing it again is a really fun proposition. That starts, I think, May 21st.
Yeah, they're a good band. They've got a good new wave of British metal sound going with them.
Yeah,
and it's that era of stuff. It's just got that classic metal sound. Female fronted band as well for you guys.
Yeah,
Sanhedrin.
Yeah, there's something about her vocals that are like the music is kind of like that. It's kind of what you're saying, but then she's got a much more soulful vocal over it at times. It's almost like hard rock or something, like that kind of thing that I really, really appreciate. I like their kind of quirky songwriting as well. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Devil Rock video, that's really cool, man. That's definitely a throwback. You mentioned Coven. So
man,
that's dedicated to Jinx Dawson.
That's dedicated to Jinx. Yeah.
Yeah, and you directed that clip as well.
I did, man. I did. We were lucky to have her do a little spoken word thing for us. That plays at the very beginning of Devil Rock. That was a crazy honor because we're all fans of the Coven record. And you could argue that we wouldn't even be able to do this without that band, probably, or it wouldn't be the same. But yeah, so we got her, and she was supposed to be here in the video. Unfortunately, she got sick around the time, couldn't do it, which would have been even better. But I did direct that, and man, I was thinking when we were directing it, I know I've talked to you about this stuff too, but I was in my mind, I was thinking of stuff like that Chips episode with Moloch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Writing that song,
Johnny Most.
that too. Like this would be a song that's in like one of those movies or a TV show in the 70s or early 80s, like kind of Satanic Panic song. The band would be playing something that was kind of ridiculous, like Devil Rock, and that was or Rocktober Blood, those kind of movies.
Yeah.
That was really where I wanted to go with the video, make a kind of classic Satanic Panic 80s vibe kind of thing.
Yeah.
It worked out. I thought it looked great.
Yeah, man. It came out great.
I like those characters with blood coming out of their mouth.
Yeah. Very ridiculous.
There's a part in the beginning where you burn, or Stacy burns a picture of Jinx.
Yeah, the picture goes up over the fire, and then that's Jinx talking over that, which is pretty crazy.
That is
so like Jinx spirit.
Yeah, it's an awesome video. Very, very.
No, thanks, man. It was a lot of fun to shoot.
And I think it was the wise choice to release that one first.
Yeah, you think so? That's good. Yeah,
I think so.
It made the most sense for a video for sure.
Right. And
so there's more videos in the ideas coming out soon. New videos.
Yeah, we'll have at least one more video out before summer. Before we come back to the States and do some dates, we'll be going out with some friends of ours then in the summer, and by then there'll be one more video out. I'm not sure if there'll be a third release, but that one will for sure be out before summer, and that'll be for Never Ending Fire.
Okay, cool.
That one's fast and catchy. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
My favorite song on the album is When the Twilight Meets the Dawn. You know.
You like that one?
Well, after hearing it 9 times, I go, this is the one. This is the one.
All right.
At the moment,
yep.
I've only heard it.
That one's like in the band we have a small genre of songs that are in like a kind of Western world, like in the Old West or something, and that's one of those. Hangman's Tree is another one from our previous albums that all take place in kind of a fictitious world where Stacy's being hung all the time and reincarnated or whatever as a vampire outlaw type character. So that's cool. That one's really fun. It's like the most I'd say the most metaled out thrasher one on the album, definitely.
No, it rips. The Screams from the Cellar is another one that that's such a good tune, man.
And you can dance to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Adam, on the last album, you told me you played pretty much bass synth on the whole album instead of bass guitar. How about this one? How about the new album?
I did both on this one. I did a bass track and I did synth over everything. Even if you don't hear it, there's synth in it. Definitely. Every song. Something about it, I really like the way it kind of feels in the background.
The first time I ever saw the video for when Hunt at Night came out, I was like, that sounds like a synthesizer more than a bass, I mean, but it's got that whole, once again, it's a total 80s throwback. And
that's what we were thinking, Lots of cool bands use that kind of. It's funny because at the time, I think when people were using that stuff, it was futuristic. And now we're well past the future that they were envisioning. And now we're using it as a retro active kind of sound. It's kind of weird, but
the synth that synth wave stuff's real popular, and I think that the intro track to Stranger Things, I really think really spearheaded that movement coming back.
It's funny you mentioned Stranger Things because even a band on Air Level experienced quite a bit of more attention because of Stranger Things and its fixation with Metallica. Like when we would play a bigger city. If we were on a bigger bill in a bigger city with an all ages audience, you would see so many people with like the Ride the Lightning shirts or Stranger Things stuff, and they're all there because of that exposure from that show. And that even trickles down to, like I say, an underground band like us. Yeah, then they see us doing this thing and they think that's part of the whole world of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely lit a fire for metal and rock and roll because I mean, I run a music store and we had kids coming in going, I want the guitar like Eddie's,
Right. Yeah. It's crazy the impact that kind of stuff can have, man.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah. Hey, let's go back a bit. So when did Savage Master form? What made you guys put the band out? So for folks watching, Adam's a longtime member of a punk band called the Hookers, and you've been doing that for what, 20 years or so?
More than since 96.
Wow.
Whatever that is. It's way back there.
Hey, quickly. We were talking before we went on air, we were talking about Metal Archives. I was looking at Savage Master on Metal Archives, and it said something about you played in Nashville Pussy at one point.
Yeah, man. I was the drummer for the first 3 singles, I think.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's a weird thing, but Blaine from that band, he is from Lexington, Kentucky. Well, from Owensboro, Kentucky, but lived in Lexington. And I met him going to see his old punk band called 9 Pound Hammer.
Yeah, I saw them a couple times.
Yeah, it's like country punk type of cow punk is what they call it, I think.
Yeah.
Really interesting. The guy's voice is kind of Johnny Cash-ish, but it's punk music. So I met him through that band, and I played with them for the last year of when they were a real band. They broke up when I was in the band. And from that, I went on to just play on the next thing that Blaine did was Nashville Pussy. And that's how I ended up in that. But I was only in the band for maybe a year.
Okay.
Just a little bitty time. We recorded a little bit, but, not much. It's out there. You can hear it on YouTube.
So when did you decide to do Savage Master, you and Stacy?
Around 2013. I'd already been thinking really hard. I wanted to do like a retro metal band, like a classic metal band. And this is around, I was probably starting to hatch this in 2011, 2012. So it wasn't the most popular concept at the moment. So it was, and especially being in Kentucky, it was hard because finding people to do this is tough, but I really wanted to do that. And through a mutual friend, he just happened to mention Stacy, who had just moved to Louisville, to me that she was wanting to do a band like Judas Priest kind of band. And I thought, oh my God, that's incredible. Somebody around here wants to do a Judas Priest kind of band. I got to find this person and we got to do something with it. So I did contact her, and she sent me a demo of her doing Starbreaker and something else. I can't remember the other song. And she knocked both of them out pretty well. And I was like, shit, this might be it. Let's see it. So I met her, and then we talked about it. She had the same kind of idea of what she wanted to do with the 80s metal kind of fantasy thing. That was it. As soon as we got together, started talking about it, it was on. I just started writing more material. I already had a few songs from the first album, like that song Mary the Wolf. I already had that song. And I think Death Rides the Highway. I think I had both of those songs kind of in pocket already. And once we started talking, it was like a muse. You suddenly you have a lot of energy to write something. Before you were just thinking, can I even do this? And then so we cranked out the first album pretty quickly as far as the writing, and practiced that for about 6 months before we recorded it, I think. And then once that recording got out of Ripper and Black, I put that on YouTube, and that's what immediately led to us getting signed to like High Roller Skull and all that stuff, just on that one song. But luckily we had an album's worth. Yeah.
That's the first song. That's the first song I heard, and I was like, I've got to find this record. And I remember, somebody on one of the music groups on Facebook, I had mentioned, I'm trying to find that Savage Master record. And someone said there's a record store in Kentucky, I guess it was in Louisville, I can't remember, that has it. And got me the number, and I called the store and paid for it over the phone, and he shipped this to me. Because I don't even know if Hell's Headbangers had it at that time. So
no, man, it's the first press is like 200 records or something.
Yeah,
it's way low. And it's on Van Records, maybe the first
Van Records. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who came up with the idea with all the hoods and everything?
Well, we wanted to do something before we even had that idea. Me and Stacy were both keen on not doing a t-shirt and jeans kind of band. Like, we wanted to do something where we got to dress up crazy, and it got to be like King Diamond theatrical, and that was the plan from the beginning. We just weren't sure how to do it, and so I'm a big horror movie fan, and we watched Mario Bava's Black Sunday, which is a black and white 60s movie where there's a witch and these executioners, and they nail a death mask on her face, very much like the album that Tony just showed. And the alternate title is actually Mask of the Devil. So that whole album is kind of based. Yeah, exactly. Based in this mythology that movie created. Just being a movie fan and a Mario Bava fan, it seemed like a good idea. And it definitely lends itself to us doing kind of as theatrical as we want to be. It's, we can go as far as we want with it. I might have, if I could go back, I would change the color of the hood so people can talk about the mentors all the time.
Right.
That's the only thing I would change.
Yeah, that's why you changed the color, I'm sure.
Yeah, changing the
color
color
was like,
definitely. That was our first reason we changed color. Yeah.
Just don't go to White Hoods. There might be a problem.
That's right.
Yeah, there might be a problem there. Yeah.
now we have purple and we look like superheroes or something. So it's different.
Yeah, I like the purple over the red. Yeah, the purple definitely
I like
gives it a totally different character. Yeah,
a lot of magic.
Going back to Mask of the Devil, that movie's awesome. Did you know they used clips of that movie in the King Diamond video for Sleepless Nights?
That's right. Yeah.
It's a
That's
classic.
badass. Man, they do one of the best effects in a movie with it's a black and white movie, but they use this whole effect with red and blue light. When she's in the casket, she looks all beautiful. And then, in other filming, they switch it to the red light, which brings out all the holes in her face all of a sudden. That's just an incredible, man, it gives you chills every time you see it. I love that part.
Oh, yeah.
Ingenious movie.
When you had the idea to put the masks and stuff on, did you want people to know what you guys look like? Because obviously now you don't have the mask on here. So were you thinking about that, or you really didn't care about it?
I felt like it honestly, like we did consider it at first, like should we kind of try to conceal our identities, but it became pretty evident fast it's going to be impossible. I mean,
right.
I don't know anybody that's in a masked costume band who we don't know who they are.
Right. Yeah.
Like who is that?
Right.
There's not anybody. Even Midnight. I mean, everybody knows what Jamie looks like. Come on, that's that's just the way it is. But so we didn't go that route. Maybe we should have. That was definitely the hardest sell in the band, is selling the other guys that were in the band at the time on this mask idea. They did not want to do it.
Really? Okay.
They were not happy with it.
I'm just showing other albums while you're talking there, because we don't have the technology to flash up stuff on the screen.
Right.
but those masks are hot. The costumes are hot because man, I remember seeing you guys last year in Richmond at
God, that was a hot show.
The Cobra Cabana. So it's an outdoor venue, outdoor stage, but they've got it covered with this tent. So it's like this tent thing, like you set up for private events and stuff, So it's in the back part's open, so they're facing out to the audience. The band is, and the back part's open with a little tiki bar and stuff. But it's how it is when it gets sweltering hot and you're in like a plastic covering like that. It just, man, everything is just, it's like a sauna in there, And I was looking at you guys thinking, God, you've got to be dying. And their purple masks were like turning black from the sweat, was making it dark, It was just, you guys are just sweating to death up there. But I feel for you, man. It sucks.
It's rough, man.
It's all for the art, and it looks so much better than jeans and t-shirts. It's just so much.
It's something a little more of a show for folks.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But it is hot as hell up there. Definitely, it's a lot to run around. But there's a certain vibe or a boost of adrenaline you get once you get the outfit on that definitely makes you feel like, I've heard Gene Simmons say stuff like that. Like once you're in the costume, you feel like a kind of a different person.
You're not yourself anymore.
Yep. Not yourself anymore. You're this menacing thing. These people in the audience don't know what you're really looking like when you're playing. They have no idea the goofball you might look like underneath. They just see this big hulking mass of a guy in a purple mask. And it's a cool vibe. It gives you a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
And you play bass now, but originally you were a guitar player, and you switched out in a couple of years in. Yeah,
switched out. Mainly just because I thought we needed a better guitar player. I mean, to be honest with you, like I did a lot of the rhythm tracks through everything, but the leads I could never I just wasn't happy with where they would go. I didn't feel like I could take us to the next level. Like I said, if we got another guy who was markedly better than me, and then I could just move to bass, which we were always running through bass players anyway, as most bands do. And that's really what happened was we needed a bass player, and we knew Nick was available. Our other guitar player was out, so bam, Nick was in the band, I was on bass. That was the whole story right there.
And wearing the costumes, people that know you, that are friends with you and go see you regularly, they know who's in the band. But people just kind of, come in and they don't come early. They come see the band and they see, they have no clue when you switch out members, when you're wearing the costume.
They really don't know.
It's like Guar, Guar's a totally different band now than the original band, but people don't really know.
It still works. Yeah. Somehow.
Ghost.
Same with us.
Band. Yeah.
So in one way, though, for the band, it's a lot easier for us because we can switch somebody out without anybody really caring about it. Not that they don't care, but they wouldn't even know. And pretty much every show we play, though, somebody comes up and asks about somebody that used to be in the band, like, where are they at? You know? But it's like that.
Yeah. Well, John's been with you for quite a while, the drummer. John.
Oh, yeah. It's me, Stacy, and John are all the longest members. I'm not sure how long John's been with us, but it's like 8 or more years, I think. He's a rock, man. Talk about a good dude. That's a good dude right there, John.
Yep. Killer drummer. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He was a big step up for us. Getting him was a big step up from what we had before. A solid member like that. It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. So the new album is it comes out, the date is March
28th.
28th. Cool.
Yeah.
And it is available. You can order it from your website, from Bandcamp.
Yeah. Savage Masters Bandcamp or the Shadow Kingdom Bandcamp, either one. Or the Shadow Kingdom website. Get it wherever you want to get it.
Shadow Kingdom been good to work with?
I was just going to ask.
Great. They've been really good to us. It was a good thing for us. Like they fund the band more than any label we dealt with before. They've got good distribution. They've been real good to us. I can't knock them. I think we'll stick with them until unless something crazy got offered to us, we would stick with Shadow Kingdom, I think.
It's just a good relationship. When the label believes in you enough to release an 8-track like this,
yeah, they really
that's pretty cool.
They really do a lot for you guys.
Yeah. That's the limited edition. What were they, like 50 of these or something?
I think maybe even less than that, maybe 40. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was low though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember
that's real. That's real, folks. It really plays. I have played it in my 8-track player.
You have an 8-track player, Tony?
Yeah.
And it played the album.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get my, my classic muscle car with the 8-track player in it, so I can
there you go.
Drive around and
you know what they did?
Savage Master.
You know what they should have done when they released that 8-track? Have a press release the next week. The number 1 8-track.
Yeah, right.
Well, that happened. That happened like 20 years ago. Cheap Trick released an 8-track. They were the only person that had a new 8-track out at that time. I forget which album it was for. You may know, because I know you're a big Cheap Trick.
It was for the album The Latest.
And Rick Nielsen said, we have the number 1 8-track in the country.
Well, Savage Master had one.
Yeah, man. Well, you sure did. I'm sure at that time. Yep.
And surely, cool. Yeah. How many are getting released? God, I can't even imagine.
I remember they're reselling cassettes now again, so everything's coming back.
We do pretty good with cassettes. A lot of people buy cassettes. I don't know. Yeah, it's surprising.
It really is, because
I found myself looking at them too. The way they're made now is so cool. They look really, really deluxe, and the tape's always a cool color. And you know what I mean? Like back in the day, I remember you're excited if the tape was clear and had silver writing on it or something.
Right,
that was good. Yeah.
I remember when the clear tapes first came out. It was just like, oh, what is this? And they
I wanted on clear tape.
They had a weird smell about them and stuff. It was weird.
Man.
Yeah. Here's a 7-inch you guys did for Black Hooves, and you did the B-side is Swords of Tequila from Riot.
Yeah, man.
Kicks ass.
Man.
Yeah, you guys always got some good covers floating around out there. I know you guys did Saxons of the Fire on a Exciter tribute album.
An Exciter song, that was fun.
Yeah,
those songs are more complicated than you think they were when you got to play them. They're different than you think. When you hear it, you think, oh, it's a simple song. We got this. And you go to play it, and you're like, this is a little different. It's like Voivod or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to really think about it.
Yeah. Any questions in the chat?
I just put in the chat that if anybody has any questions, what the fuck just fell to ask. Something fell. Hope it wasn't my drink.
Hope not.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So we got the pre-orders up already.
Pre-orders are up, right? On Bandcamp?
Yeah, it's all out there. You can grab it.
Is tomorrow Bandcamp Friday? Because it's the first of the month.
The first of the month, so it should be Bandcamp Friday. Yeah.
I think you are correct.
Tomorrow is not
tomorrow.
The first.
Even better.
Tomorrow's the 28th.
So you're releasing it on vinyl, cassette, and CD?
Yep, all three. I think there's three or four variants of the vinyl. They always do. Shadow Kingdom always blows up the variations on vinyl.
I'm getting the black one. Which one you getting, Ralph? Black?
I'm getting the black one, but it's very popular to get the colored ones.
Yeah.
But yeah. Man, I am old school, man. I
love the black too. I like black.
I like my vinyl. I like my Sabbath, man.
Yeah, Ralph and I always say we're always saying we just get the black vinyl, whatever. You know, I mean, if I go to your show and that's what you got and you got it in color and that's all you got, that's fine. Yeah. But I'm saying if I gotta choose, I'm gonna get black vinyl.
No, and honestly, colored vinyl today plays great opposed to back in the day. Colored vinyl was kind of crappy. The colored vinyl today sounds awesome, but I'm not looking at the vinyl, man. I'm looking at the album cover, if anything. I'm not gonna stand and watch a colored vinyl go around.
Yeah. Who's standing over the record player watching that?
Yeah, and I gotta pay $2-3 extra for the color. No, man, give me black. And I'm doing it because I'm a cheapskate. Because if it was $3 more for just black, I'd buy the black. I would.
Yeah.
Seagull Rock Squawk wants to know, what was your worst gig?
Worst gig? Gosh, any gig where there were less than 5 people there. That's probably it.
Have you had a lot of those?
Yeah, early on we had some. You'd go out in the Midwest, man, and you didn't know what you're going to get, you know. Right, especially if nobody knows you and you're a band that wears hoods. I mean, it's a little bit odd. It's, you know, but none of them have been that bad. There's always the worst things are not getting to the gigs. I think I'd rather, you know, if even it's a bad gig, at least we made it.
Right. Yeah.
It's the ones where you break down and you don't make it or something. That's what's really bad.
How many times have you broke down?
Oh gosh, hundreds probably.
Really?
Over the years, yeah. I think Savage Masters probably had a good 10 of them. We had a really rough one maybe 4 years ago. We broke down in Death Valley. That's not ideal. And it's like the middle of the summer and you're in Death Valley and no, you can't get a record to come get you.
Right.
And you're like, do we die out here? What happens next? Like, I don't even know. They're like, no, we don't come out there. You're like, well, I guess we live here now because there's no way out of this place.
So how'd you get out?
Yeah.
Eventually, a friend of ours kind of ultimately bribed someone on the phone to come out there from one of these record services to privately come out on their own and get us. That's basically what happened in the end. And then we had to pay, and I had to pay extra on top of that too, because you're in a trap situation. What can you do? You know?
Right. Yeah.
They got you.
Pretty much.
Well, it's good you guys have done enough touring and made enough connections whatever area you're at. As long as you get signal and you post something up on your Facebook page, somebody will come to your rescue. Somebody close by. You know, you make a lot of connections.
Man. The connection of having that phone is just something else. You know, they do have service out there in the Death Valley. So
that was a good thing then.
Imagine touring back in the day before cell phones, man. God,
yeah, I've been there. But I was talking on another show just about this, like how I used to have all these maps and all that crap that goes along with that. And you'd get lost, or you wouldn't know. You'd go to the wrong version of the street in a town, or you know, like a town over. It would go on and on. I hated it. It was really tough.
You go to the wrong town with the same name.
Yeah, that kind of. Yeah, Paris, Kentucky instead of Paris, France.
I was I remember going to this club in Greenville, North Carolina. There was a Kiss tribute band that was going to be playing, and it got there and the club owner said, man, they're going to be about 2 hours late. They went to Greenville, South Carolina instead of Greenville, North Carolina.
Oh
and
wow.
They figured out their mistake and they were on the way and they were like 2 hours away or something at that time. So yeah. But I mean, I guess it happened back then.
That was the reality, you know. Shit.
You know. Yeah. I got lost a bunch too.
Randy Joy wants to know, do you remember the Troubadour show with Nashville Pussy, Candy Snatchers, and the Hookers?
I do. I almost walked out into traffic by accident that day.
Oh, that's
I'll never forget that show.
Wow.
Like we went to run across Troubadour in Hollywood? Yeah. Run across that street and I kind of tripped and almost got hit by a car.
Wow.
And so I always remember that. And it was a crazy show. I think there were famous people there, but I don't remember who. Nashville Pussy was big at that moment.
All right.
Very big.
Well, that would have been scary. That almost happened to me once. My band was playing a show, and my guitar player, and my singer we went to go to Wendy's to go get something to eat. So he starts to cross the road, And we figured, all right, there's nobody coming. He's crossing the road. So me and the singer start crossing behind him. And there's a car coming. All of a sudden, it's screeching the brakes. I'm like, holy shit, we're going to fucking die. You fucking idiot. We were lucky that day.
Mick, that's how I feel. So I'll never forget.
Very scary. Mick Watkins, we like that
Dick
guy,
Watkins is on.
Yeah.
Dick Watkins is watching with us tonight.
He says,
do you know Dick? Do you know Mick Watkins?
Me? Oh, absolutely. A Wild Ride fan forever. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Awesome band. Yeah, and they're
from, man.
They're from
that's right.
I was thinking you guys must be neighbors. Yeah. What did he say?
He wants to know, did you all do a cover of Rainbow Demon? He could swear that you did.
We used to do it live in the first year of the band. We would do it.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool. But we never recorded it.
You should.
There might be a video out there.
Are you gonna record it? Because I like that song. It's a really good song.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should. I love that song. It's incredible. Absolutely powerful song. We used to do it live a little bit, and then I don't know why we stopped, but we did. Good stuff.
Might be time to revisit that. Let's see.
Can't beat Heat, man.
Zachary Bergstrom. I don't know if this is even a question. Going to see a show of David Lynch, Wild Heart. Can't stay, but just saw Savage Master in August in Minnesota. I was front row with my girlfriend. You guys rocked. Can't wait for a new album.
That's fantastic.
All right, cool.
Love Wild Heart as well.
Very impressed with that new album.
All right.
Speaking of which, you were saying about you didn't play the Uriah Heep cover much anymore, but now that you've got so many albums, how do you pick a set list? I mean, you usually play for about an hour.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's like you kind of want to stop releasing stuff because it's a real pain in the ass to do that live. We had it cut down where it was like 2 songs from every release, basically. Maybe 1 or 2 extra here and there we could do. And now this makes it complicated because we want to do like 4 songs off the new one or something ridiculous. And so then there's some songs people expect you to do, like we always do Whips and Chains and you know those kind of songs. Ripper is going to have to be in there, probably Miss Magic and Steel, you know, kind of touchstone songs that you do every set. But yeah, man, it's harder every time. I don't know, you know. In Europe, we get to play an hour or more, so we can kind of be a little more indulgent and do whatever we want. You know, we don't want to be in those outfits more than an hour, really. You know, frankly.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
But here in the States, you got to trim it down. It's usually 35 to 45 minutes is your slot here. So it can be tough. We'll be doing, for the new songs, we'll be doing Warriors Call live. We'll be doing Devil Rock, Never Ending Fire, and probably one more, probably Edge of Evil. I'd imagine we'll go ahead and do that one live too. From the new album. That's 20 minutes right there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know.
I noticed with the new album, it's short. I don't know how about your other albums are, if they're what the lengths of them are, but this one was fairly short, which I like because you know I can go back and listen to it more than once, you know, in one day. Man. So is that a thing you consciously try to do with your albums?
Absolutely. I think like 40 minutes is about the max.
Yeah.
From my own personal attention span for albums, like that's what I like. You know, I not to say that there can't be some epic albums that are an hour or more that I like, double albums and stuff like that. Of course there are, but initially I want it to be 35 minutes to 40 minutes maximum. Yeah. And so I always apply that to us.
Those are my favorite albums, man.
They are, because you can go back and listen to it.
Man, and the older albums are all cut like that, and a lot of 70s rock is cut like that, where 15 minutes aside, and you get it done in that 35 minutes. That's what you get them.
Like
however many songs that is, that's what you get. Yeah.
I was gonna say I want to be able to put 2 albums on a 90-minute cassette, one album on one side.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Economic home taping.
Yeah.
All those early Van Halen albums was like some were even less than 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great albums like that. I mean, you know, not to say you can't have a good long one, but you know.
Yeah, once in a while it doesn't matter, but when it's every album, it's like 75 minutes long.
Yeah,
so like,
I forgot. I did a review not too long ago. I forgot what band it was, but it was some local band. Some guy asked me to talk about it. That album was so good, but it was too long. And my complaint about it is like, take 3 or 4 of those really good songs off and put them on the next record. You know, keep it short. You know, I was complaining about it. it's like I'm complaining, but I'm not saying you suck. You sound really good, but I think it's way too long, man. Just get some of those songs and put on the next album.
Yeah, put them on the next
Cut the fat.
You don't need to do them all in one shot.
Yeah, man.
Seagull, do you have any leftover songs like from this album that you could use on the next one? Do you guys do that?
Only songs that were we had 3 songs that we recorded for this album that were pulled. And that's kind of intentional because like what we were talking about, the timing. I was like, okay, I don't want it going to 50 minutes. That's kind of ridiculous. And the songs that were pulled didn't have to be on there, I didn't feel like. Right. That's also something too. You're like, well, this song has to be on this. Like some of them are the songs that need to be on it. And some you think, well, it could come or go. So we have 3 in the can now that we'll probably put out either as an EP or we'll do some splits or singles or something like that. One of them's kind of a mini rock opera piece that's pretty crazy, called The Last Kiss, and it has Stacy's on it, of course, singing the main vocal, and then we have Amy from Solicitor. She does a portion on it, and then we have Tony Dolan from Venom Inc. He does like a narration over the whole thing. So it's cool. Really crazy.
Very cool.
Cool.
But that's like a song where I thought this doesn't have to be on this album. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, it could be a 7-inch or something.
Yeah, exactly. An EP.
Yep. Seagull Rock Squawk asks again, who does your awesome artwork?
On the first records with the fantasy covers, it was a guy named Chris Moyen, who's famous in his own right. He's done a ton of stuff. Worked with Slayer even. He did all the fantasy covers, and then on Myth Magic, those are the Chris Moyens. And then on Myth Magic, we had a guy named Mike Hoffman, who was an incredible artist. Kind of does Frank Frazetta, Frazetta
that's
style.
Very Frazetta.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think he really captures the Frazetta girls kind of really well. It's crazy. Then from there on out, that album was a photo by a friend of ours named Dumvana. She did that one, and then she did all the kind of risque photos inside that. And we tried to pivot to that look because the band was changing, and we really wanted to. I'm a fan of a lot of 70s and 60s witchcraft magazine and books, stuff like that. And sometimes at the library when you were a kid, you might stumble across one of these books that had some nudity in it or something. And there'd be pentagrams and candles and red backgrounds and, all that stuff that's kind of cliche, but also kind of amazing at the same time. So we were a big fan of that. And I wanted to bring that into the look of the band. That's why on Hunt, we go to photos, and now we do photos as well. And they're all, in the same kind of occult genre. On the new one, I did most of the photography, which is a bit of a change. I did some of the photography before in the band, but on the new one, I did the cover in the background. So
cool. Very cool. Randy Joy, did Nick ever say what it was like playing with Coven, and what is Jinx like?
Oh yeah, he told me a lot of stories about playing with Coven, or Coven. Mostly though, all the stories about Jinx seemed pretty cool. She seemed like a really neat lady. She had a lot of crazy stories to tell them about all kinds of famous people that I won't mention these stories, but you can imagine what might go on in them. And I think it's from what he told me, it was just a crazy adventure. Like they were out in a kind of a converted school bus. It sounds like a movie, an 80s movie like that. The punk rock documentary, Another State of Mind. I don't know if you guys ever seen this, but those guys all go out in a school bus and tour the U.S. That band, Social Distortion, actually. It sounded a lot like that to me. Like they had several times the bus broke down. All these crazy adventures with this stuff. They have to have a coffin for her to come out of every night. All that. She's also, I think, maybe in her 70s, so that's a lot. I can't imagine being out there doing that at that age, converted school bus, doing the whole bit. She's a real trooper. She's as real as it gets, as far as I'm concerned. But I think it was a really good experience for him. Kind of fly by night. He called me. He only had like 24 hours or something to decide to do this run with them. It was really off the cuff, and he called me kind of in a panic, like, should I do this? I don't even know the songs. Like, haven't even went over the songs yet. And I was like, well, it sounds like an adventure to me. And you'll be playing in Coven. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like this, whether it goes good or not, you played in Coven. That's pretty neat. So he ended up doing it. And, I think it turned out really good. He's got all kinds of great videos of Jinx saying all kinds of funny shit.
That's killer.
Cool. Cash Flag. Will the first Hookers album ever be reissued?
Man, it won't be until I think this thing happened like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where after maybe a 35-year point, the artist retains you can reapply for your rights to your piece of work or whatever, and that's the only way that I'll ever have the first one back out. The guy who owns it won't release it, and has no need to release it, and refuses to. So hopefully in my lifetime I'll see it released, but I don't know.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks when that happens. Yeah,
he has the first two.
So many cases. Yeah.
You ever think about re-recording it or anything? Because I know a lot of bands do that.
I've definitely considered that. I have some other versions of it that we did at the time, demo versions, that I thought we could maybe re-release, but I've definitely considered re-recording it and trying to get around it or something. I've read things that you could have it remixed and remastered to a certain point where you can regain control of it, but I don't currently have the master tape, so it wouldn't work for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you just put a compilation you just put out recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was just the solo stuff that I had done during that era of the punk stuff. It's all kind of like a lot of kind of quirky covers and songs that I just never made quite the grade to be released in other bands. So I did it's 31 songs from I think 99 to 2012 of that kind of material. That went really well. That sold out, so I was very happy with that.
Cool.
That's awesome.
And Al Horter says he admits he's never heard of Savage Master. Come on, Al. You have to heard of Savage Master.
Check out the new video.
But he says he's going to have to definitely check them out. And yes, you should check them out, Al.
Thank you. Check out the Devil Rock video.
Check out the Devil Rock video, and then go to it's savagemaster.bandcamp.com, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and go pre-order the album there. So
please do, yes.
Yeah, we can pre-order Wayne's new record at the same time.
Oh yeah, severedangel.bandcamp.com.
I already did that.
Okay.
I saw it. I saw you up there. Yep. Thank you.
It's awesome.
That. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, what else we got? Actually, Tony said that you collect a lot of records and stuff like that. So have you gotten anything?
Sure.
Within the last week or so, or
nothing in this week? He mentioned something to me about this, and I looked through my stuff. I've heard some records online that I liked, but I haven't bought anything new this week. In the list he provided, though, of albums that might be turning, I think 40 or 50. Was it 40?
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Welcome to My Nightmares one.
Yeah. I pulled out my copy of Welcome to My Nightmare.
Yeah.
And wanted to just say real quick, this record rocks, man. I mean, it's a great Coop record. It's not my favorite, but it's a really good one. I mean, it's a good one.
Yeah,
and there's some cool songs on here, but overall, I think Cold Ethel has got to be one of the most rocking fucking Alice Cooper songs ever made. Like, it's all about necrophilia.
Right.
And that's just messed up, you know? Right. And to hear Alice singing about it. And that guitar riff is so rock and roll, man. Like, it's an odd riff, but it's really badass. The way the drums come in, kind of odd. You feel like, is this even right? You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to say something about that one because that's great. And I think he mentioned maybe Armed and Dangerous.
Got the 8-track on that too.
Yeah, man. Armed and Dangerous.
Man, I just want to say, like, I don't like this record. I don't like this record very much.
No, huh?
Really?
No.
Why? Do you prefer?
This is the way.
Why you?
This is the way. This is the way. This is the record. This is when they were the best.
That's what I think.
I'm not a big fan. I love the Belladonna tracks. I mean, Armed and Dangerous is just a great track. But
it's all right.
The reissue, the re-recorded tracks, I like the original versions better. But yeah, man, Spreading Disease is my favorite Anthrax record. And I do love the first
one. Mine too. Yeah.
It's crazy how they changed to that from this.
Right.
Like the way this sounds, they're going in a totally different direction, than this one. And definitely Spreading Disease gets more into like not the mosh riff kind of stuff he does, but it's going closer to that. You know, the SOD kind of sound on his guitar.
Yeah, and the first Anthrax to me is like the only album they made like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
never
it.
Made anything.
It's total.
It's wicked. Yeah,
it's got some thrashy part, but it's very heavy metal. That to me is because I discovered Fistful of Metal before Armed and Dangerous. I discovered it one of the two, And believe me, it's not that I hated what they did after, but I always preferred Neal Turbin, Dan Lilliker.
Yeah, man.
That to me was.
I think the drums on this too are nuts. The drumming is like so much more like aggressive and mean than what they would do later.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like on the Agnostic Front album that has the Eliminator on it. You know how the kick drums are like, you're like, yeah, man, it's really powerful. It's kind of punk edge to this too. That's really cool. That was about it for the ones that I was familiar with. The Led Zeppelin, of course, that's great. You know, we've all heard those records 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other anniversaries are there, Tony? Is there
Well, like I said, this is 50 years old this week of Physical Graffiti.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's my favorite Led Zeppelin record. I mean,
it's just
oh wow. It is a long record, but it's a double album, and I've never got bored with this record.
No, there's no bad songs on it.
It's just and it's up and down. It's all over the map musically, and it's great. I love it. And
songs to Down by the Seaside. I mean, it's amazing.
But yeah, Welcome My Nightmare is 50 tomorrow, I think. And you know,
did a cover of Black Widow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's great. Together. Yeah, it's great.
That was fun. Very fun.
You guys remember the Nightmare TV special? It's been released. With Vincent Price. God, that is so cool, man.
I have it on DVD. They finally released it on DVD.
And that's a totally different recording too of the songs. You know, he's sing. Yeah, it may be the same the backing tracks may be the same, but his vocals are recorded live while he was performing them on that show. They're a little bit different, and they threw the Battle of Dwight Fry in it as a bonus track. You know, so that was cool.
It's hard to watch it now though, because we talked about it on my show like 2 years ago, I think, like that. It was the first time I saw it because it was, you know, that's old. I'm not that old. So,
but then he's got
it was hard to watch it. It was very hard to watch.
The live concert from the tour is really cool too. That's when they had that sheet on the stage, that screen, and it's got the sections cut in it, and he's jumping in and out of the video. That is groundbreaking there. I mean, that is so cool. He's on stage, then he jumps into the film, you know. I mean, that is just top notch for the times, you know.
Yeah. I mean, some of the things were funny though, with the mannequin and stuff like that in the bed.
Yeah, man. It's definitely dated, but it's fun. It's like Kiss Meets the Fan or something. You know.
Oh yeah.
You watch it as a timepiece.
Right.
It's kooky, but it's kind of creepy in a way as well. You know. But but we were talking about Anthrax just a second ago. I remember I think we had Carl Kennedy on and we interviewed him, but I read Carl's book. And he talks about when Anthrax was in the studio and they had finally had it with Neal Turbin and he was gone. And what are we going to do? We don't have a singer. So they call Carl Carl calls his friend. It was Duck McDonald who played with Blue Cheer. And he had a band thing called Bible Black. And he said, I've got a singer down here, Joey Belladonna. I'll send him down. He said, we can't get a record deal. We can't get anybody to give us anything. Maybe he'll have a chance. So he tells Joey, go down there to this band Anthrax, and they play thrash metal. And Joey's like, they play what? He'd never heard of it. You know, that's just funny. You know, I mean, they play what kind of metal? Thrash metal. You know?
Man, didn't Joey Belladonna replace Eric Adams in Bible Black?
Yeah,
wasn't Eric Adams in Bible Black before?
He was, and so was Jeff Denholt, the televangelist that was in Priest. Yeah, but that's right. And I think he doesn't. I don't think he says in the book, but see, I always heard that basically Joey came in for the audition and he sang like the beginning lines of Old Sherry or something. Should have been gone, and they were all like, "We get this guy. We're going to be the biggest band in the world," you know, because he can sing. You know, Oh, he sang Journey, and I've heard Scott Ian say, he auditioned with a Journey song, but then I heard it once it was Steve Perry. So I was like, God, if he went in and did that, I guess he did like blow their minds, you know, because they were not
definitely a different vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to go back to the chat here. Mick Watkins wants to know any Louisville shows or Lexington shows this summer. from you guys?
There'll be some Lexington show announced for sure. No Louisville this year though.
Okay. And here's another interesting thing. I can't pronounce this. Dan Marjorie Pola. I don't know. He said him and you were in the Rocky Erickson tribute band together at a bachelor.
Oh, absolutely. That is true. I believe we did 2 shows.
Are you a big Rocky Erickson fan? I would
assume. Huge fan. Absolutely, definitely. Rocky was one of the earlier things that ever grabbed me on my own. Hearing his album, The Evil One, like that meld between kind of punk rock and roll and the horror movie concepts.
Yeah.
It was as powerful to me as the Misfits or something. Hearing the Misfits, which I also loved as a kid. Definitely had a huge influence on me. Something like Night of the Vampire or something. That's probably a top 10 song of my whole life. I love that stuff.
That stuff's incredible. First time I heard was when Ghost did a cover of his song. I have, what is it called? I have Ghost.
If you have Ghost.
If you have Ghost. Yeah. I've been trying to get
sounds great.
I've been trying to get Ralph to listen to Rocky Erickson too, because I think he would really like him. But he's great. That album is awesome. I really enjoy
the guitars are killer on it too. It's got really blazing leads on it. It's surprising.
The first song I ever heard was the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack. He had a song.
Dude, I think that's the very song that hooked me. The first song I ever seen is I got to go see that in a theater when I was a kid, and that song "Burn the Flames" hooked me like for life. It's so dark, and that scene in the movie where they're pushing him into he's pushing himself into the incinerator. Oh man, it just perfect. Absolute perfection.
Did you watch his documentary?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. Yeah, very sad.
It was sad. It's crazy that he went that deep in it, but was able to come back and play so much. You kind of thought, like, in parts of the documentary, you thought, man, this is hopeless.
Right.
Yeah,
well, because his mother was like so much control of his life. It was like, oh my God, like she won't let him live,
I know, you thought there's no way he can come back and do anything. There's no way. And then he did. I went and seen him a couple times when he came back, and it was pretty incredible. Yeah. It was unique. I mean, it was different. The first time I seen him it was in Louisville, Kentucky, and we used to have this killer video store called Wild and Woolly, one of the best video stores in America. Had a really deep well of old horror, exploitation, everything, all that kind of stuff, TV shows. It was one of those places where you could rent bootlegs of stuff too, like maybe not the official release, rare films. And that guy, Todd Brashear, bless his soul, he did an anniversary show for their video store, and he brought Rocky to Louisville for, I believe, the first time he'd ever been there, and had like a showcase with other Louisville bands that opened for him or whatever. And then he would play at the end, and which he did and was great. But during his performance, they had like a projector projecting horror movies on a screen behind them. And like every once in a while, man, you would catch Rocky he'd just stop playing. He'd just look back at the movie like this and just stare at the movie for a while. And then he'd just come back to it, You're like, oh yeah, man, he's out there, dude. He's out there in his own world,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was glad he's able to get better, but unfortunately he passed away a couple of years ago. So
yeah.
Were you a fan of the 13th Floor Elevators too, or?
Yeah, like a handful of songs. I'm not like super into them, but You're Gonna Miss Me and like what is it, Reverberation and stuff like that. Those songs are great. That reminds me of like the band that Billy Gibbons had before ZZ Top, Moving Sidewalks. They did kind of electric 13th Floor Elevators type of stuff. Really good.
Yeah, like psychedelic type rock stuff.
Yeah, with kind of a real hot guitar.
Yeah, good stuff. What else you got, Tony?
Randy Joy asked, did Adam miss the Savage Master tour due to being attacked by a Doberman?
I did. It was a boxer, but I didn't have to miss one. Bob from High Spiritsville did it for me. Yeah, it ripped my hand wide open, man. I was at a thrift store looking through some old books, and the owner's dog walked right up to me and just ripped a chunk out of my hand. It was quite terrifying. I had to go. We're in a small country town. We had to go to this country hospital where they sewed me up like Frankenstein style. It was wild. Wow. Put me out of commission for about 6 months. Couldn't play.
Wow. Fretboard hand, of course.
Yeah, fretboard hand. There was a moment even early on where I thought, am I going to be playing again? It was pretty bad. I can still feel it, and it's definitely, you can see it, but I can play now. And that's another great thing about being on bass, is that it's not quite as complicated for me to play the songs as if I had to do all these guitar parts.
Right. Yeah. I was getting ready to show some stuff that I had gotten this week. Actually, I just saw where Al Horter said today is Neal Schon from Journey and Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden both have birthdays today. Well, that could lead in because I did get a few things this past week. I actually got.
I forgot to send him a card. Damn it!
Forgot to send who?
Adrian, Neal Schon and Adrian Smith.
Yeah. I've actually got this. I think it was Valentine's. Frontiers Records had a sale, and I got this Neal Schon thing. This Journey Through Time. This is awesome because I love old Journey with Greg Raleigh singing. And they're doing a bunch of that on here. Greg Raleigh's part of the band. And then they've got Dean Castronova on drums. And he's doing all the Steve Perry parts. It's killer, man. It's Marco Mendoza on bass. And it's really cool. They had this 3 CDs and 1 DVD. It was like $6 and something.
Damn. And I bought it for maybe 20 when it was,
And I got the Steel City CD from Frontiers as well, because our buddy Roy Cathy did vocals on this. Okay. And I got in the newest one from the new Raven showed up. Can't Take Away the Fire.
I got
the
mine
50th
too.
anniversary EP.
I got
came in with the autograph. Yep. And you got the patch.
The autograph scared me though, because I didn't see the autograph because it was sealed. I'm like, where did it autograph it?
Yeah, they did the back of the booklet. I think John said that they had to sign, he has to sign the book, send them to his brother. His brother has to sign them. Then he sends them to Mike Heller, the drummer, and he signs them. Then they send them to England to be packaged and to ship. They're packed. That little booklet's got some mileage on it, man.
Yeah. What number do you? I got number 512. What's your number?
I've got number 507. So we're kind of close.
Kind of close.
Yeah. Wow. And this is a band to check out. They're called Half Drunk and Hollow-Eyed, and they're a local band from Raleigh, North Carolina. And this has been in big rotation for the last couple of weeks. Actually, I got it. This is good stuff. It's it kind of reminds me of it's a little bit of Clutch, but a little bit of like Rollins Band, like when Rollins Band, the last version when he had Mother Superior as his backing band, it was all rock and roll. This is like this kick-ass rock and roll, and like I said, it's good. It's just got hooks. He's got a kind of aggressive voice. It kind of reminds me. He kind of barks out the vocals, kind of like the way Henry Rollins does. So it kind of reminds me of that, but it's got that Clutch groove to it, and it's got a little bit of COC, got the Pepper era COC. And I'm digging it, man. It's good stuff. It's Half Drunk and Hollow-Eyed. They got that name from the song "The Ride." David.
Yeah, The Ride.
Yeah,
that's what I figured.
Yeah, cool band from Raleigh, North Carolina.
I also got this in the mail the other day. The little pale girl from Terrifier.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And her eyes glow in the dark. That's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
That is cool. Did you get any new stuff?
I need the Terrifier though with the sunglasses on. So if anybody can find me that, I need that one.
Yeah, that's your photo that you use or whatever for when you come in. Yeah. Did you get anything new this week, Ralph?
No. I might, because the thing is, as you know, I'm living back at I'm not living here, but I'm back at my new house. And I know the Raven was sent to my parents' house. So it's over there. So I got that, but I just don't have it handy on me. But yeah, I think that's the only thing I got. My friend J-Man bought me that Daily Roth box set. So I'm expecting
that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about
you guys did a review of that on the Metal Voice.
Yeah, because he bought it. And he called me up and he's like, "Hey, you want to do a show in half an hour?" I was like, "Yeah, I just woke up. All right." Because he goes, "I know you're David Lee Roth." So that was a fun show.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having Little Ain't Enough on vinyl. That'd be kind of cool. I like that record.
I have that out already on vinyl, but you're gonna get it again. But yeah, that's about it. I didn't really get anything. I bought a mop.
You bought a what?
Mop.
A mop,
good mop. You have to step on it. It goes around in circles and drives.
Oh wow, dude! Wow.
It's an awesome mop.
Real cool.
Oh, that's new.
How sad is that we're so excited about fucking mops?
Yeah. Well, you got your Kiss trash can back there, so that's good.
Yeah, that's a 70s thing.
Yeah, that's the
Really?
one with the reverse photo.
My cousin moved into a house, and I was helping him move stuff. And when we went to the attic, it was in the attic from the old owners.
Oh, really?
My cousin,
wow.
He doesn't know shit about Kiss or not. Hey, I'm taking that. Sure, it goes for a lot of money now.
Oh yeah, they're quite pricey. Yeah, I think that old stuff is. Yeah, we need a Savage Master trash can.
Yeah,
that's the next step, right?
Yeah.
you made it when you got a trash can.
And Wayne will buy all the Savage Master pops, Funko Pops.
I will. I will. There's some room there. I buy a lot of pops.
I've been approached by the pop company. So.
Yeah.
Maybe Super 7. Maybe you'll have like those little action figures.
That would be incredible. I love Super 7.
Yeah. They got good stuff.
If you talk to them and you get them to do that, you tell them to make a Moloch figure as well.
Really, man. Deacon Dark.
We'll release the Savage Master images to you if you do Moloch. Yeah.
Only under those conditions.
And he has to come with the car with the 666 on it.
Oh, the car it's a whole play set. You could have the stage and everything,
Yeah, man. What's so funny about that video is the band. The band looked like freaking like circus clowns, and
they look ridiculous.
Yeah, God, it's hilarious, man.
I always hoped there was a whole album of that stuff out there somewhere, but I'm sure there's not. I'm sure that's one song they recorded just for that show. And
yeah, I wonder who wrote that, because they always have those staff songwriters and stuff like that for television shows. Like Mike Post or somebody probably wrote that song.
Just cracked it out in like 10 seconds. But a
Yeah,
whole album
yeah.
of it, if it existed, I'd buy it. Definitely.
I saw the Donnie Most record in the shop one day, and it didn't have it on there. It didn't have Devil Take Me on it, and I was like so disappointed.
Same. I saw it, and I thought, if it's got it, I'm buying it right now.
Yeah.
that's the best episode ever.
Yeah, man. That was the satanic panic period, man. It's when all that stuff was going on like that. It's just crazy.
I always like to mention Deacon Dark as well. That the Deacon Dark song, Smash It. That's so great, man.
And he looks like King Diamond or something.
Dude, he looks fully like King Diamond in it,
or Crazy World of Arthur Brown in a way,
And somebody mentioned to me that, or asked. I posted about that song not too long ago, and someone asked, was Gene already dating Cher by the time he did that on Love Boat? Is that a crack at Gene?
Possibly, yeah. I've never thought about
what is that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't look at the years.
Anybody watching don't know what we're talking about. Sonny Bono played a Kiss character on the Love Boat on an episode of the Love Boat. Okay. It was Sonny.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he comes out, he's got this song called Smash It, and hit it with a hammer and bash it. And he goes kind of crazy there, like knocking some stuff around. He's got full Kiss, like Gene kind of makeup on.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Oh, I gotta find that I know it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's definitely on YouTube. Yeah. You'll see it. Deacon Dark, Smash It.
Yeah.
it's worth a look. No.
Yeah, he does look like Arthur Brown. I see that.
Yeah.
You looked him up. Yeah.
I never. That show's like too old for me. So.
And the Love Boat audience is like, oh yes, this is nice. Oh yeah, smash it. Yeah, they love it. It's like doesn't even come across as shock rock to the audience on the Love Boat. It's just another night.
That's funny.
The Love Boat was Isaac was cloned, because you know how big those ships are, and every scene that they have, was the Lido deck or the promenade, whatever you call it, promenade deck. There's Isaac serving drinks.
Everywhere, right? Yeah.
They cloned Isaac. There's like 7 of them on the ship. He looks just like him. And he's all going, hey.
He's the most memorable person from the whole show by a long shot.
Yeah, we were watching something the other week. I forgot what it was. And there was some old guy, like this old man character. And I was going, that's Doc from Love Boat. It's like a recent show. Yeah, like, he's like 90 now or something, Yeah. We got it. We got to send a rip rip out to Gene Hackman, man. That was sad.
Oh man,
today, man. He's 95 years old.
They still haven't figured it out, right?
It's got to have been carbon monoxide or something.
Dude, I don't know. It's
no.
So
did you see all this stuff now?
Is,
yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, there's
now.
So much to it.
They found her. She was mummified.
Yeah,
I just read that.
They've been dead for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I don't know if he was dead for a while, but she's been dead for a while because she was mummified. She had pills next to her and everything. And he apparently fell or something in another room. And then the dog is locked up in the closet.
That's what somebody told me, that the dog died from starvation.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They were
that's
both
sad.
dead. They said
that's
that when she fell, a heater fell beside her, and you had to wonder if the heater was on, causing that mummification situation. Like what happened there? You know, they said also there were pills everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow, I hadn't heard all this.
It's pretty weird.
That's crazy.
Weird for him to go out that way.
Yeah, just,
very strange.
Great actor. I still think he's the best Lex Luthor ever. And I saw someone shared the scene from Young Frankenstein today. That was hilarious. He was the blind man.
Yeah, that's great. He did that uncredited too, I believe. He didn't take a credit for that to be in that movie.
How about the makeup on him, and he made him look like an old man? Yeah. I loved him.
How about the Conversation? You guys ever see that movie? Gene Hackman movie?
Yeah.
My man, that's awesome. That's top class cinema right there.
Yeah.
Real stuff.
Yeah, man.
Of course, Popeye Doyle with the French Connection.
Texas Troy wants to know, if we're not familiar with Savage Master, what are a few albums they should spin?
I say the new one.
Yeah, get the new one for sure.
Definitely get the new one.
Yeah. I think start with the new one.
Yeah,
there's 2 singles out from the new one. Go check those out. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them.
No, they're all good.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
I'm telling you, I think the new one, it would be a good.
They have not done an Unmask or an Elder. They haven't done Savage Master Unmasked yet. Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna say I like some Elder stuff. I can deal with the Elder. I'm cool with that.
I like Unmasked, but I like AOR. So, but yeah, I don't want to see Savage Master do an AOR album.
I'm a big fan of the Elder. I love the Elder.
Yeah,
Elder's cool. Unmasked was all right, I guess.
But that one just goes better with your name because of the mask. You wear a mask.
Yeah, because the mask.
Savage Master,
and
Unmasked.
The cool comic book vibe to that one too. I like that.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we're gonna have like AI figures and stuff, and like Kiss.
Yeah, we won't even have to be there. It'll just be a hologram.
Holograms.
Yeah, Savage Master avatars.
Which honestly sounds kind of good. I like the idea of it. I'm liking it.
Have you guys have you guys seen where Gene and Paul's sons are playing together now and performing together?
Really? I have not seen that.
Yeah,
they're doing kind of a folk thing.
Kind of like Simon and Garfunkel.
How long before they start doing Kiss stuff?
Gene's like, look, guys, you go out and do some Kiss stuff. We can put you out on tour, and
I know
it's already got it mapped out for them.
But
2 guys and a couple holograms.
But would Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer come back too?
Yeah. Ooh. It'll be their sons.
Sound like very promising already.
It'll be their sons.
Quite possible.
Well,
this is really cool. I'm glad that you came on. Had a lot of fun.
Oh man, thanks for having me, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's been great. When are you looking at US dates?
Early June into July. They'll be announced very soon.
Cool.
Plenty of East Coast. We'll be in your neck of the woods for sure, Tony.
Cool. Awesome.
Definitely.
Coming out to New York at all?
Yeah, we'll be in New York.
Where are you playing in New York?
Can't remember where it is. It's a new place because we used to play Vitus all the time, and now that's out.
Yeah, that's out. Yeah.
It's a new place. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll definitely make sure you guys are all aware of it.
All right, very cool.
Love to see you out, man.
I know not to ask because South Florida sucks.
I don't definitely know South Florida this time around.
And we suck. We
had fun down there. We had a lot of fun down there. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. That Lucifer show was a good turnout.
Yeah, it was fun.
It wasn't bad. It was fun. Yeah. But
Al says a Brooklyn Bowl, maybe.
Might be Brooklyn Bowl. That sounds right.
Okay, there you go.
So is the U.S. tour is U.S. run going to be with anybody else? Or you guys doing that on your own?
Going to be with some of our buddies. I guess I can't say it yet, but a good friend of ours, band who's from the Oakland area, that area of band. Maybe you guys can figure it out out there in listener land. But that'll be up really soon. We'll be able to announce that. I think some final details are being worked out. You know how it goes.
Killer.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And
thank you, guys.
Highly recommend. Again, when's the release date?
March 28th.
March 28th, and you can pre-order it now.
Absolutely. Get it now. It'll be to you back then.
Which I'm going to do right now. Black vinyl.
There you go. I think black's the rarest, so, you know.
So there you go. I'm going to
get in there.
So, yeah, thank you so much, Adam. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And hope to have you back in the future when you release more Savage Master stuff, man.
Love to come back anytime. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Right on. Thanks, everybody, for